This is part 2 on the update of my Reishi mushrooms. Now, as you see, these mushrooms were started on April 13th. Today is May 14th, so it's been a month and a day. And this is what we got so far. Last week I showed a video of them and they had just started opening up. At this point now I could start spraying them with some spring water frequently, or water without any chlorine in it. They're growing really fast. Now, the thing that made me curious about them is the texture, because I thought I had some reishi growing in my backyard some years ago, but I wasn't positive. And that's the hard thing about mycology, or the study of mushrooms. You have to know. You can't just jump in and just eat anything. Some things that are edible, you can eat them, but you can only eat them if they're cooked. Or some things have like psychedelic, or is that the word? Psychedelic use. Some have medicinal use. You have to really know what you're doing. I'm going to give an example. One time I met this girl in Georgia, and she was like a total nature freak, and I'm a nature freak myself, so I was like, you know what? She was like, girl, we're going to go on a hike or whatever. We're going to go through this, I don't want to name the place because I don't want to put the girl's business out there. I'm not in contact with her anymore, but you know, I don't want to know I'm talking about her. But anyway, she was telling me how much she was an expert in nature, right? She knew so much about just the outdoors. So I'm a mom. I'm sorry. Sir, I'm doing a YouTube video.
Mom.
I'm going to get Derek in a second. All right, grab the broom. Take it in the house. That is so tacky. I'm sorry, but seriously, my videos only get on the average 24 views anyway. Okay, anyway. So I met the girl, and we were in a place in Georgia. I don't want to say what place in Georgia, just in case somehow she just happens to be watching YouTube and sees me. But she was supposed to be like an expert on nature. She was, I could say she was more on the hippie side than me, though. So as I'm going around with her through the woods, and she's pointing out, she's like, this is wild ginger, and this is this, and this is that. And you see this mushroom right here? This mushroom is reishi. And I knew a little bit about mushrooms. I didn't want to bust her out, but that wasn't reishi. And she's like, oh, I'm going to collect this. And she was just grabbing stuff, and it was like, I can't learn from her. You have to you have to really know what you're doing with mushrooms. Now, my thing is botany. I understand plants backwards and forwards. I know where to buy some stuff. I understand that certain plants have to be in a certain environment, and I can try to mock that environment, or I could amend soil a certain way, or adapt to certain things. But if with a mushroom, if you are wrong, you might die. You know, so you really got to be careful with that. So, you know, right now at this point, what I do is I'm buying mushroom bags. Even though I can identify some out in the open, I'm not always positive. So it ain't worth the risk. As you saw, my son just popped up and told me I got to go pick my other son up from work. So I got too many responsibilities to be playing Russian roulette with my life because I like mushrooms. But that wasn't the point of the video. The point of the video is look at my mushroom and how it only took a month for it to grow. And I was curious about the texture of it, because the one I used to have in my backyard when I lived in Georgia, it was kind of hard. And when I looked at these, they didn't look as hard. So I'm like, well, maybe that wasn't the real reishi. I mean, but the look of reishi is so unique. You know, like this color here, this bright orange is so unique. But after I finally like really looked at this and touched it and, you know, loved up on it and understood it a little bit, I realized this orange part is kind of hard. It's kind of woodsy. I mean, you could take, if I took my fingernail and I wanted to indent it, I can. But it does have a thicker texture. But the top part has like a softness to it, like a typical mushroom. It's kind of solid. I really want to know what it felt like, as weird as that is. But, you know, when I first got the bag, I was showing you how it was all brown and stuff. And that the mycelium, which is, in my definition, not a book or text definition. I said I'm studying mycology right now. I'm not going to claim to be an expert at it. The mycelium, which is like the fungus that just kind of takes over where there is the potential that there will be mushrooms in this area. If, like for example, this is exposed to the plastic, but if it wasn't in the plastic, they may be growing through. And it does need a lot of moisture. And all of the mushrooms that I'm learning, they're not equal. They all don't require like a one size fit all type deal. Because my other mushrooms, it didn't mind the light. I take it out into to the light, it's fine. These require darkness, so I kept them. This is my little patio. I kept them on the patio, and not even just in the patio, because since this is like a sunroom, in the back where it's closed up, you can open up those windows and get some sun. I put it in the darkest little corner so that it stays in the darkness, but not all mushrooms require that. So this is Reishi for now. I used to want to go when I lived in Iowa and Nebraska. People would go on morale mushroom hunts where they would go through the woods and they would um, get morale mushrooms and they or morale. I got an accent and I really don't talk right and I might have a speech impediment, so like disregard it sometimes. You don't know what the hell I'm saying, just ask. I'll go find it and type it in and it'll sound different, you know what I mean? But they used to go on like these hikes and they would go through the woods and they would find all these mushrooms. I wanted to go so bad, but you know, I can't just creep through the woods with random people in Nebraska or Iowa. I'm just saying. So, you know, I never did it. I did kind of like sneak in on like little Facebook groups that they would have or different things like that. Just kind of like, you know, I'm not there, but I'm peeping. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Where y'all finding these mushrooms at? And they were so secretive and so stingy. Like one time I asked someone, where could I find some of the mushrooms? Like, where could I find some arouse at? Because I knew it was that season. It was raining a lot. And then, like, they're like, when a certain tree is starting to decay, you can find the mushroom around there. Or when you see this tree is sprouting, that's when the morels will be sprouting. There was, like, all kinds of legends. So I just being bold, I said, and I don't want to say an asshole said it, but an asshole answered me. I said, where can I find the morals? I just had to be bold. I mean, like when you're on the keyboard, you could be like an internet gangster. You could say what you want, and you don't have to see these people. They don't know you. So I just said, hey, where can I find the morals at? And they're like, why don't you go climb over one of those military fences that say do not trespass and go find some mushrooms? I'm like, no, you mother. But yeah, that's how it is. They were like, so like some of them have like little secret societies and stuff. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's a weird thing because like my nieces and nephews on the slick, they try to humbly say it without asking me in a derogatory way. They're like, Auntie, you be doing shrooms? I'm like, no. What if I didn't tell you? But no, I don't. But yeah, it's just I find it fascinating and interesting, and I like to learn more, and it's something that you could always learn about. And my boy, one of my sons, he's 13 now, but when he was about maybe 3 or 4, we would go, me and him, we would get together, and I would have because that's when the iPhone was really cool, it was really banging, right? And I had one. So I would take my son, the little 4-year-old, and I'd be like, come on, let's go walk it. And we would walk around to different areas, and we would just take pictures of mushrooms. And that was like the biggest deal to us. We were happy. It was like, oh, it's raining. And I'm kind of weird like that because, like, I think God really blesses rainwater. We get our water treated so much that, you know, what you water your plants with, they might grow a little bit. But when God gives you some rainwater and you hold on to it, you get miracles. Them plants like jump up better than what fertilizer does, because I don't really buy fertilizer all that much. I'm gonna start making some, but that's another subject. But yeah, there was a point to what I was gonna say. Yeah, the rain. So every time it rained, my son, when he was 4, we kind of get excited because if I wasn't outside, like I would be sitting in the house and I hear like a thunder thundercloud going, and I would jump out and I would go and get like a bucket, and I would go outside and I would be gathering water. My kids, when they were young, because my oldest is 21 now, and then I got my 17-year-old and my 13-year-old, and that's my baby over there that popped up on me. He's 6. But when they were little, they like fully understand that rain like made me really happy. So they would go and they would get these buckets with me, and we would go outside and we would collect rainwater. And then after the rainwater, the day of collecting rainwater, me and my son would go outside and we would look for the mushrooms that was coming up. So yeah, that's fun. That makes me happy. I'm so talkative. But it's a Friday night and I'm happy. And I'm happy because my mushrooms are good. And this is just the second one that I'm showing a video of. And this is just the start because I like this so much. I'm going to try the lion mane. I'm going to try why can't I think of anything else? Some buttons, some shiitake mushrooms. I'm going to be touring all kinds of stuff. Because the worst thing about it is my oyster mushrooms that I have outside, they kept producing and producing and producing. And I had them on this fence, and it was inside of a bag like this. And my bag got kind of raggedy because it was just sitting outside, and pollen was on it, and stuff was dropping in. And I was like, you know what? I guess I've had enough of these mushrooms. And I was fascinated with the fact that some of them grew like this big. So I was like, well, let me just go ahead and I don't think it's going to produce anymore. Let me just take it and put it in the dirt and put it with my plant and let it just be compost to my plant. And that mushroom said, no, I'm too legit to quit. And it is still producing blue mushrooms. And the first time that it really started producing the mushrooms, I was like, okay, well, I'll eat a little bit of it. And I just ate a little bit. And then one day I was cooking something, I don't know, but man, when I tell you that darn mushroom tastes good, I was like, dang, just to think about the fact that I'm sitting here now picking a little bit of mushroom when I had mushrooms this big and I didn't know how to appreciate them. But this, not the blue oysters, because those are good, I'll eat those, but this right here is, I'm going to use these for medicinal purposes, so that I don't know, for health benefits. You know, I'm going to try to figure out how to dehydrate them and make them into powders, or make them into tinctures, or whatever. You know, for real. Like, I could sit here with mushrooms and freaking seeds and dirt, and I could be happy as hell for a whole spring and summer. That's why I'm glad I'm back in Florida, because no disrespect to those in Nebraska, but Lord, man, only 3 months of during summer. I mean, like 3 months of good weather. That's it. You better grow it, and it better be quick. You better buy your stuff at the store. Ain't no growing from seed. It was heck, I couldn't do it. Oh my God. I did it though. I did it for like 7 years, but my God. So I'm loving Florida because I went outside today after work, and I think I planted my peppers like 2 months ago, and now I'm walking around in my little garden back there, which I may give you guys a garden tour later. It's not real cute, you know what I'm saying? Like, the way I talk, you would think that I had like this big, beautiful, bodacious garden right now, and it's not, but I do appreciate what I have, and thank God for what I have. But anyway, yeah, I went outside and I saw my peppers were blooming, my cucumbers were started up, I had some cute little flowers on the side, and I was happy. That's why I'm talking so much, because I'm happy. And this video wasn't really supposed to be this long and this random, and I ain't even had a drink. Really, I ain't drink nothing to smoke nothing, I'm just happy. So, I'm going to end it now because my son told me my other son just got off of work, and I don't like leaving him out at night. So y'all take it easy and leave me a comment, and please don't judge my jabbing mouth. I do that from time to time. All right, happy gardening, y'all.